Hi everyone, this is actually my second take of the video. Targeted Tony was with me for the first take, and he basically told me that Nerve Gorilla had been shooting a printout at a gun shooting range with Targeted Tony's face on it. So hopefully Tony will send me the evidence when he's and we'll get everything together. Doesn't surprise me at all. But why I actually wanted to come on here to talk about was the whole, it was a wider conversation about, political views and family, really. There's an actress, I'm not going to mention her name because I feel like I talk about her way too much already. Basically, she was at a birthday party. She posted the pictures online. One of them had a Blue Lives Matter shirt on. Another member of her family at one point had a MAGA hat. And at this point, we all know what, Blue Lives Matter and MAGA symbolizes. Now, it's been my experience that it's usually the people who are so-called conservative that would, normally give you the shirt off their fucking back in a heartbeat. But that's been my experience. It's not the same for everybody. It's usually the people who think they're conservative, like 9 times out of 10, they're just talking shit. They're talking shit because as soon as they meet people individually, shit changes. So that's been my experience. Now, when it comes to this actress in particular, the fact that not only is she standing by her family, but she kind of gaslit her fans into quietening down about what they observe of her family politically, it makes me think that either their point of views are not a deal breaker for her, or she low-key agrees with those views. Now, my thing is this. On the one hand, I can understand why, even if you disagree with your family, you're not just gonna cut off your family like that. If you've known them for a long time and that's all you've known, it can be completely alienating to turn away from everything that you've known just for what? For a principle. That's a huge risk to take. Do you understand what I mean? And who does that leave you with? If you're walking your talk and you're being honest and you're standing in your truth, there's no guarantee that people who seem to have the same opinion as you will do the same thing. So it's a bigger risk to take than you might think. That's the first thing. The second thing is that, on the other hand, and this is coming from somebody who is still in contact with loved ones with opinions very different to mine, especially about the LGBTQ plus community. This is coming from me, remember. I feel like sometimes it is cowardice to stick with people you love who are basically treating the existence of other people as a matter of opinion, whether they deserve to be here or not, whether they deserve to exist or not, whether they deserve to be themselves or not. Being around people who treat such discussions with, as a matter of opinion, it's not an opinion, it's literally affecting people's lives. And, and I know people who literally make excuses to have a conservative point of view because that's all they know and they're not trying to change. But, this is coming from somebody who does talk to people who have conservative viewpoints. At the end of the day, it is cowardice because you don't have the courage or the patience to walk your talk or to go down your own road. But that's most human beings. Most human beings are like that. We don't really believe in the things that we say, and we don't really believe in the things that we say we believe in. And 9 times out of 10, when we hold a point of view, especially at a time where resources are dwindling and everybody's sniping at each other, there's no real ideology behind our so-called opinions or beliefs anyway. They affect people's lives in such a big, drastic way, but there's no real ideology behind the things that we supposedly believe in. We're just leaning to those things because it's the least line of least line of resistance. If we really wanted to be honest about what we believed and what we held dear to our hearts, the most honest answer would be whatever protects me and my family, that's what I'm going to go with. That's how I feel about politics. I feel that I best align with things that serve my interest. That's where I am right now. That's where I am as, as somebody who's getting older and who doesn't really have the option of having anybody on her side, conservative or liberal, because, on the conservative side, they believe in me being a TI. They know about the weapons being used against us. They know about the neighborhood watch and the Freemasonry, but then on the other hand, they know next to nothing about any other religion except Christianity. In fact, they don't even know about Christianity. And, they're calling for religious genocide, and, LGBTQ people are being, dragged through the mud as well. So that's on the one side. On the other side, I've got the liberal point of view. They're more open to different ideas when it comes to religion and when it comes to sexuality, which is great. I love that. But then on the other side, out of spite, they want to deny just how evil our government is. And, it just becomes then, well, I got to pick whatever political views from all sides suit my interests as a Black woman, as a woman who's queer, and as a woman who's a TI. I've got to pick what suits my interests. I can't hold my allegiances with, one particular political view or the other. It is whatever elevates Fabienne Deacon to a level where she can be happy, healthy, and secure. That's the political view that I hold these days. I don't hold any other political view than that because it's a shell game. So, so I do feel that being around people who are not honest enough to admit that, I feel like that is cowardly, and I feel like that's where I probably might need to make changes in my personal life. I might need to make changes that I surround myself with people who are just as honest and who are like, you know what, this is what suits my interest now. This is what I need to be doing. Do you understand what I mean? Race regardless, gender regardless, I need to go with whatever suits my interests. And luckily, if there's any luck, then their self-interests match my self-interests, and we can aim towards the same thing, But I do feel like there's a part of me that understands you don't want to let go of your family just because some strangers say you have to do it, or you don't want to let go of your family just because a bunch of strangers are telling you to do it. They don't live your life. But then on the other hand, you might be sticking with them because at the end of the day, your principles, either you like low-key agree with them or your principles just aren't that strong. In which case, a lot of internal work needs to be done. A lot of internal work needs to be done if you really don't believe in what you're doing and you're just going to do it anyway. Coming back to some TI stuff. Hang on. Coming back to some TI stuff. Sorry, I'm just letting my intuition tell me what to do next because I have to listen to my body before I do something. Take it real slow. All right. Yeah, so coming back to the TI stuff, Targeted Tony hopefully will send me some evidence. I have no doubt that he will. Nerve Gorilla is crazy. Hopefully he'll send me some evidence of what's going on. And the second thing is, I think there might be a party going on tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure. I've got something on. I've got something on like at around 8 p.m. I'm not going to say what it is because I want to keep it low-key for now, but I don't know. There might be like some noise disturbance, but that doesn't really concern me. What concerns me is that once again, I'm in a position where even when I'm completely minding my own business, no decision could be made without me. I'm thinking, this is what happens, right? I do something that is completely unrelated to anybody else's business. Somebody gets obsessed with me. I don't go looking for them. They come looking for me for no reason, right? They get me angry. They get me pissed off. I end up having a mental breakdown, partially because of everything that's going on. And, then I am crazy. I'm a monster. I'm this, I'm that, and I'm the third, right? But then when I'm minding my own business and I'm not doing anything to anybody, that's an even bigger problem. You see, I'm not evil when I'm calling people all the names under the sun, even if they're literal children. I'm not evil when I'm threatening to beat somebody's ass. I'm not evil when when I'm getting ready to beat somebody's ass. I'm not evil all those other times, but when I'm minding my own business and focusing on my own life and not responding to anybody harassing me, that's when I'm evil. That's when I'm on my revenge grind. That's when something's wrong. It never really occurs to the gang stalkers that there is always going to be a period where at first they get me really, really, really fucking upset. And then because I realized that me getting upset with them isn't working and it's not making them leave me alone, I just leave them alone and go about my business. And the more I ignore them, the easier it gets. And this is one of the reasons why I say, well, what other reason could you have beyond the fact that you're being paid to do this? It always comes back to that. And it's not even the first time this has happened to me. It always comes back to that. If your thing is not being paid to upset me for no real reason, if your thing is not being paid to upset me, then why is it that yelling doesn't work, screaming doesn't work, me nearly beating your ass doesn't work? Why is it that me calling your whole family out doesn't work? Cussing your whole family out doesn't work? Why doesn't that work? Why doesn't me almost ending my life stop you? Why doesn't me being in tears constantly stop you? In fact, you go around bragging about it. Why doesn't me being on the internet not stop you? Being on the internet talking about what you've been doing, why doesn't that stop you? Why doesn't it stop you that I'm not in the internet telling people what you're doing? Why does it not stop you when I mind my business? Why does it not stop you when I'm being quiet and I'm not responding and I'm not insulting you and I'm not calling you out your name and I'm instead electing to do something positive? Why does literally nothing stop you if your aim is not to drive me crazy deliberately so that you can get something out of it? Again, we're coming back to this situation. What are you doing it for then? And then you've got the nerve to turn around and say, oh, you're not going to live in fear of me. In fear of what? If you'd have left me alone in the first place, you wouldn't even have to talk, nobody would have to talk about living in fear of me or being afraid of me. Nobody would even have to talk about that if you'd left me the fuck alone to begin with. That's what I'm saying. These people are crazy. And they want to call me crazy and call me all that. Like, you're the one. It's not even just this family. Like, there are people imitating my laugh for no reason and fucking calling me the mad lady for no reason. What have I done? Like, really realistically, what have I done that is that fucking crazy? Like, literally, what have I done? Everybody knows exactly what's happened. And on top of that, they know I'm telling the truth. They know I'm telling about the truth about gang stalking. They know that I'm telling the truth about the electronic weaponry because there's evidence all over my social media. So what am I crazy about? Where's the madness? Where is it coming from? Like everybody, like people are trying to call me names and call me evil and all the names under the sun, and yet you don't have one shred of proof to prove that I'm lying about anything. Anything. Not one. I'm the only person who's told the truth. It's the same every single time. I'm the only person who's actually being honest about anything that's going on. If you really like, this is the thing. I just wish people would just do their shit without me. Stop making me the fucking focus. I don't want to be the focus of people with such ugly, reprehensible personalities. I just don't. It gets to a point where people's behavior towards you is just so ugly and so disgusting, you don't even want to focus on it anymore. And all you want to do is focus on something beautiful, focus on something positive, focus on something that actually, like, not even brings you joy. Like, just focus on something that, you know, in which you can see good people win for once. That's why I haven't been saying anything for the last couple of weeks. That's why I haven't said anything. I just want to let good shit win for once. I don't want to focus on the fucking negative shit. I really don't. I just don't. It's fucking ugly. There's like constant racial slurs and it's fucking ugly. No one wants to hear that shit. Talking about curses and fucking, because you can't handle the fucking consequences of your actions. You can't handle what you are. You can't handle you can't handle the fact that the reason you're miserable is because you can't make somebody else miserable. That's what's really fucking with this family. That's what's really fucking with everyone else here, almost everyone else here. The fact that they don't get to make somebody miserable. I don't even think it's a race thing. I think they just like making people miserable. I think they really hate it when there's anybody who's happier than they are. I really feel like they hate anyone who's happier than they are. I don't think they can handle it. I don't think they can handle it. I thought it was a race thing. And I'm not saying they're not racist, they certainly are, but I don't think it's that. I think they just don't like anybody who's happier than they are. I think they live to make people miserable. I think they love making people miserable more than they love each other. Because you're not about to tell me that you are going to keep making slurs no matter what the people who love you ask you to do. There's no way you're going to do that if you don't value making people miserable more than the people you claim to love. It's a damn shame, you know, when you have a group of people who care more about causing other people misery than they do about each other. And you just have to be the focus of that self-hatred. Lord have mercy. If you want to hate yourselves, fine, but just do it without me. I mean, I get it. I get why you hate yourselves. It's not like you don't have reason, but just do it without me. I've been saying it, man. But anyway, yeah. Tomorrow I've got something on. When I become a bit more established in what I'm doing, then I'll let the TI community in on what I'm doing with collabs and stuff like that. Because at the moment, I want to bring TIs into, you know, the stuff that I do. Like increasingly, I'm building a career for myself slowly but surely. And I do want to bring targeted individuals in because, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I've said online and a lot of stuff that I've done online And without knowing about the targeted individual experience, without knowing about, you know, remote neural monitoring, without knowing about electronic warfare, without knowing about street theater and psychological harassment and all that type of stuff, without knowing the context of all of that stuff, there's a disconnect between what I'm trying to do now and, you know, and the person that I used to be before. There needs to be a connect between the two. So when the time is right, I will definitely let you guys in on more of what I'm doing. But for now, I just want to make sure everything goes smoothly first, and then I want to bring you guys in. Because, you know, again, I don't want there to be that disconnect between who I used to be and who I am now. And no matter how uncomfortable things get, I want to know that I'll be able to stand in the truth, not my truth, the truth. And then you can make an informed decision as to whether I should be successful or not, or as to whether whether I should be successful in what I'm doing. I hope I made sense anyway. I didn't name names and I wasn't specific, so I probably didn't. But yeah, there's a lot going on, so I'll just say goodnight right now. I love you guys. Peace and blessings. Bye. Bye-bye.